All right. Hello, everybody. This is the JayLa show. I'm Lincoln.
This is Javier.
Jalen Jackson.
All right. And what we're going to be talking about today, this is our first episode. We're going to talk about a couple of different ways that we believe the media has falsely portrayed or positively portrayed people of color. And one of the first ways that, one of the first things that I'm going to talk about are the movie Pitch Perfect. That came out in 2012, and it just recently came on DVD in 2013. And the movie is about a group of young college girls who are trying to win an all a cappella competition. And they're all, the thing that's really intriguing about it is that each of the singers all come from different backgrounds and all represent different different types of people, and they all come together and try to figure out how to uh, win this event. So one of my problems with this movie, Pitch Perfect, is that the only black girl in the entire movie, played by Esther Dean, is a lesbian. Now, I don't necessarily have anything, a personal vendetta towards homosexuals, but I just don't understand why the only black girl in the entire movie had to be a lesbian. And now the other problem that I had with this movie was that not only was she a lesbian, she portrayed the stereotypical black man. So with the whole, swagger player, dude who's always trying to get in the draws, that's who she was. And so that was one of my issues with her performance as that character. Actually, I shouldn't say her performance, but that was one of my issues with the character itself. And then the other person of color that I wasn't too fond of how she was portrayed was the only Asian in the movie, played by, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, Hana Mei Lee. She is a psychopath in the movie who always has a very weird, crazy look in her eyes. She always has humongous eyes, and she's very, very quiet, very, very reserved, but whenever she's spoken to, she'll say something crazy, like, do you guys want to see a dead body? And um, so both of these characters in the film were, I don't understand why they needed people of color to play these roles. I actually thought it would have been a lot funnier if they made Esther Dean's character a white girl trying to portray a stereotypical black man. I thought that would have been way more funny. However, these performances in the film were actually hilarious, and they still made the film great for me. I'm just curious why they had to be, these specific people of colors. And people know that the stereotypes for Asians is that, they are crazy and very quiet, and for black people, they're always swaggy, this and that. So that was one of my issues with the film Pitch Perfect. Now the last thing I'll talk about today is Disney Channel, and the show Shake It Up. It's about a couple kids who, for a living, do a dance show, a local dance show in Chicago. Now one of the main leads of the show is this girl named Rocky, played by the actress Zendaya. Now, Rocky is a very, she looks like she's probably, actually, no, she is black in the show. And she's very, very smart, and she's very into school. She's very driven with her grades. If she receives anything below an A, she freaks. However, her brother, Ty in the show, played by Rashawn Fagan, he wants to be a rapper and he wants to be a dancer, and he's all about the ladies, all about being a player, and he doesn't care too much about school. Now, one of the positive things that I do like about the show are, for one, Rocky's character, how much she's into school, but also their father, Rocky and Ty's father. He is a black man who is also a surgeon, and he cares very much about his kids getting a good education, while also pursuing their dreams as entertainers. So he is supportive of them uh, pursuing their dreams, but he wants to make sure that his kids are well-rounded in an education, which I think is positive for anybody watching, any children watching the show, specifically any black children watching the show. And the last show that I'll talk about is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Now, one of the issues that I always had with the show was that the only Asian on the entire cast that you pretty much always see is London Tipton, played by Brenda Song. Now, her character is stupid. She is amazingly stupid. And she's spoiled rotten, and she blows money like it's food. And she absolutely hates school. So any young Asian girl who's watching the show, they're not seeing themselves being portrayed on the show as a very positive role model. So that was one of the issues that I had with The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So, yeah.
So,
I think we should actually do this again because I thought I shortened it, but
You know what?
should I just talk about Pitch Perfect and just leave it?
No, we'll cut them into two. Go ahead and ask your question.
All right.
so, and any of the Disney shows, do you see their family life? And if so, like how?
See the
What
family
do they
life
look
of the
like?
people of color?
Yeah.
One episode on Shake It Up, you do see. Actually, that entire episode is dedicated to Zendaya and her brother Ty convincing their dad that they are good at dancing and performing, and that they want him to see that it's a career that they should be able to pursue. Even though at the very beginning of the episode, he's very adamant about them pursuing that as a career, and he wants them to just stay in school and focus on maybe becoming a surgeon like him. But at the end of it, he realizes that his kids are actually naturally talented, and he wants them to pursue that as a career while staying educated. And I think that's a very positive image to portray to young kids of color, specifically young black kids all over America, if they ever see the show. Because now they're seeing a black man who is successful in the medical field, who not only wants his kids to be smart, but wants them to pursue their dreams. So I think that's actually a beautiful combination, and you do get to see that in one entire episode of Shake It Up. So,
What about in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, the only family that you ever see is between the brothers of Dylan and Cole Sprouse, their characters, Zack and Cody. The only time I can remember that I ever saw London Tipton's reaction with her family was when her dad came for her birthday and he was surrounded by bodyguards. So you never, ever saw him on camera, and neither did she. So, I mean, even when she tried to give her father a hug, she had to hug the bodyguards, not him, which you reminded me of. And that's horrible. Like, why are you gonna, not only do you make the only Asian person in the only Asian character stupid, and you make her parents completely reject her, but you won't even show them reacting with each other. You won't even show her own father. And her mother's not even around. We never hear about her mother. So, I think that's kind of shady how they do that to Asians in the show.
Well, and also the London's father has like a whole bunch of wives. Like he keeps getting remarried. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like they make several references to like her
His
dad
new wife?
His new wife, like, or he has a different girlfriend or something. Like,
Wow. So not only that, her father's not even consistent with relationships. Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah.
So, I mean, we just pointed out a couple things that's just one character, on a Disney show, and that's how she's portrayed. Like, I didn't even know that. I don't think it's by design, or no, I don't think it's by accident that an Asian just happened to accept that role. I mean, just happened to be handpicked for that role. But that's a little sketch. I don't know about that. So, yeah. Should we actually just go on to their
No,
stuff now? Stop it now? Okay. Dang, guys.